There's only one companion that you have throughout your life. It is your breath. I have uninterrupted for myself. No screens, no scrolling.
Do you find that healing for yourself as well when you do that?
No one really discovers things without making a few mistakes.
Welcome back to another episode of Minds of Meaning, and this time I'm here with a very good friend, Pranay, who I've known for 10 years now. So, hi, how are you?
I'm doing good. Thank you so much for having me here.
Awesome,
Yeah.
Same here. Round circle, I mean the whole full circle has happened. Right? You came 10 years ago because of running injury.
Yeah. Started with a left foot injury and I couldn't figure out why this is hurting after running a 21-kilometer race without training properly, without doing any strength training. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I learned all those things from you. Okay, that you're supposed to practice for 3 months before a half marathon. You're supposed to be able to activate your glute muscle before you run. None of these things I knew before this. And yeah, today I'm here to share some of my learnings as well. So, perfect. Right you are.
And as you were saying, let's keep it more about the mind. Physical is there. Everyone talks physical.
Yeah.
As you were saying, start off with running, but then the whole meditation thing happened. And how you kind of put it all together with your running, where you are with your running.
Yeah. So to be perfectly honest, and there's no shame in saying this, I came to running because I really was feeling like a lack of purpose in life. I was going through a phase of depression, and I was feeling that every single day getting up from my bed itself was feeling very difficult. But once I started running, I noticed that at the end of the run, I always would feel better. And at the time, I didn't have access to things like therapy or meditation. I really didn't know that these things exist, but I did understand through my body that any kind of exercise, be it running, be it doing some minor gym work, it really did help me. So that's where it started. But then what it did to me was basically I was using running as a way to escape my anxiety and generally feeling low and depressed. But it wasn't really treating it per se. And as a result, the first maybe I want to say 2.5 years of my running, I started by just randomly registering for at that time it was the Airtel Delhi half marathon. So I just registered for it completely randomly and I trained a little bit. I used to run 10-12 kilometers at best once in a while, and then I just showed up on race day. I had this thing that I want to complete that race in under 2 hours. Now, why is it under 2 hours? God knows. I have no idea. Yeah. Yeah. So I missed it by like 1 minute and 59 seconds.
Right.
And I remember that I worked quite hard as in during the race. And at the end, I was completely crushed. And for the next 2 years, it was all about chasing that number under 2 hours, under 2 hours. No matter what happens, 120 minutes ke andar karna hi hai. That was my core philosophy. And of course, eventually I got there in 2017. And there was such a feeling of emptiness inside me that I just completely stopped running because I was like, now that I've achieved this goal, what do I do with my life? I had no idea how to look at it again, what to do next. And of course, the other problems of my life as well did not really go away because of running. And that's where, the next part of what you mentioned comes in.
But did it help in any way? I mean, was it a little milder? Was it a little easier? What are you feeling?
I would say most definitely that phase where I was training regularly. I did go from being maybe starting at a phase where getting up from my bed was also difficult to eventually by the end of those 2 years, it became like, I know that the depression is there. I'm aware of it. I know I feel anxious. I was aware of like how fast my mind was moving all the time. And at the end of running, there was that phase of stillness. A couple of times I touched the very meditative feeling of the runner's high as well. So I knew that there is something else out there. It's just that I couldn't consistently touch it because it created a loop where I was running and then I was getting injured. And when I was not able to run, the whole thing would come back to me really quickly. So I would say that running was very helpful, but it didn't really address the core, issue for me. That's where the next part that you mentioned comes in. So I think in 2020, everybody was forced to face like things they were avoiding. And in my case, it was how I had linked basically my entire identity to my job and how hard I used to work in the job. And once I started observing what it's doing to me, I like had a meditation teacher at the time who like just told me, okay, why don't you just try this guided meditation for 10 minutes and see how it goes, how you feel. And pausing in that first meditation session itself was very difficult.
Right.
And then when I came back to running, I'm observing my thoughts. I am thinking much slower, and I'm like, for the first time, I'm realizing that during my run itself, I'm now feeling stress-free. I'm not thinking, looking at my watch, I'm not thinking, oh, is it 6:36? What is my pace? Should I go faster, slower? For the first time, I allowed myself to feel my body, see how it's doing before running. I think I remember watching many of your videos back then, and you used to say things like you should sleep a lot, you should drink lots of water, and most importantly, you should pay attention to your body, listen to your body. And I knew intellectually what it means, but I didn't really feel it until I started my own practice of meditation. And that was, well, the beginning of like the whole journey transforming.
Meditation, I mean,
Yeah.
everyone's confused and everyone makes it so complicated and all that.
Yeah.
I have my simpler version. What's your take on what is meditation? How does one progress through it?
Yeah, actually, it's one of those things, right? Like if you talk about any hobby, since we are on, miles of meaning, let's talk about miling and smiling. So running as a hobby, I mean, you run, I run, lots of people run, but it is different for everybody.
Yeah.
Meditation is the same way. So it's a very deeply personal practice. Everybody has to start somewhere. And my recommendation is you just start with a simple guided meditation app, Headspace, Plum Village, Calm, whatever works for you. And you see how you feel, what it does for you. A 10-minute sitting every day is good enough for somebody who's starting. But beyond that, there is so much more to it. Once you get deeper and deeper into it, you'll realize that what it allows you to do is develop a better connection with your own body and with yourself. And in itself, it's in this modern world, everything in society is basically almost engineered towards making us more disconnected from ourselves, staying distracted all the time. And meditation is something that bridges that gap. It reduces that disconnect, brings you closer to yourself, allows you to listen to what you truly want to do, which people like me, we suffer from that. I'm a really good friend. If you hang out with me, I'll find out every single thing that you need and I'll try to give it to you in whatever way possible. I'll try to be there in whatever way possible for you. But it was very hard for me always to be there for myself. And meditation has really allowed me to at least listen and understand. What do I want?
I think there's this quote by Rumi, right? God said, become friends with your worst enemies or something, and that became my best friend. something along those lines.
Yeah.
It's very easy to become anyone else's friend, but not yours.
Yeah, and honestly, I mean, partly it comes from how my parents always raised me. They always told me, you help other people, you be generous, you be kind. But I don't think, yeah, exactly, to others. But I don't think we ever learned how to be generous and kind towards ourselves. And I don't mean that, you go to a Gucci store and buy some expensive things, or go to A6 and buy the most expensive shoe for race day or whatever. There's like layers and layers to it. But through meditation, I would say the most important thing I've discovered is how to be compassionate towards myself. If my leg is hurting, I don't have to go on that run the next day just because there's some number to be chased. And I think only after starting my practice and feeling my thoughts slowing down, did I understand what you meant by, listen to your body and see how it's feeling, observe your breath. I think one of the things you had said maybe like 8 years ago or so on Facebook is that you breathe as slowly as possible on your easy runs. Don't try to breathe from your mouth, breathe from your nose, and pay attention, and should be really slow, deep breaths. If you're doing shallow breaths, then your abdomen will start cramping and all. And I was like, great, sounds amazing, and I tried it. But yeah, it's not possible for me. It's only possible for like really top level athletes like Dr. Rajat, but not for me. But after I started meditating and going on my meditation retreats, only then did I understand that it's actually my mind which is just hyperactive, always stressed. I'm telling you that I enjoy running, but when I'm actually running, I wasn't really enjoying it. I was always worried, am I missing this? Will I disappoint myself? Will I disappoint Dr. Rajat by like finishing slower than usual? What is going on? So yeah.
This is probably the word in I mean, too many of us are running for Instagram and this.
Yeah, unfortunately.
And it's a cycle, right? The vicious cycle that's on. Without running for ourselves.
Yeah.
Sadly.
Yeah.
How does one break that vicious cycle? Because it's amazing. And thank you for just saying, hey, listen, these are my problems, and here I am very openly saying. Most of us don't even admit to ourselves. Forget about publicly making this.
Yeah.
Very openly saying. What do you say to those folks? Who are in depression, anxiety, and it never registers to them throughout life.
Yeah.
They pass through 3 decades without realizing.
Yeah, unfortunately, I mean, I first realized that I have some level of anxiety and depression only once I was like 26 years old or so. It's truly hard. I think maybe just the starting point would be on a day-to-day basis, just observe your body and see if there's any muscle tightness somewhere.
I was going to ask body mental.
Yeah.
So, sorry, I'm cutting you here, but just add one more thing when you were saying this. You know that ankle pain and all those things that have come to me.
Yeah.
Did you see a connection with that? How you were feeling mentally, and the pain becoming worse and more?
Yeah.
So just add that bit as well. What do we say?
Yeah. So that's actually a very good point. I think first I came to you with like some ankle tightness and foot issues, right? And eventually I went to some random, group fitness class, and I took on more and more weights because I was like, 10 is too less, I should do 20 and whatnot. And eventually it developed to a slight MCL issue, which was very bad for like my running, because after 5-6 kilometers, after 5-6 kilometers, it would like hurt so much. And after that I came to you, and then you spoke about the mind-muscle connection. And after that, there was not one moment in my life where I was not paying attention to my knee and to the pain over there and what threshold it's at. And I was giving it maybe 15, 20, 30 minutes of really slow running to, warm it up, so to see if I'm comfortable before going for the rest of the run. And I was also able to observe like various muscles. For example, my shoulders were really tight at the time, because even while running, I was stressed and, running like this. So all those things you said, they registered intellectually, but only after I got injured and was in pain was I able to pay attention to it a little bit. And eventually that did develop into my, when I started my meditation practice and I started going to retreats, it's only then that I realized how much of that is there. It's not just the injured part, right? Because you've told me, so many times. It's also like how you're feeling mentally, and also other muscles get overloaded because, one thing is injured and you're trying to like protect it somehow. So I think the thing we were originally talking about was the mind-muscle connection, right? So maybe like for people who don't realize what's going on, paying attention to the body is a great way to start. But I'm aware that some people cannot really feel their body, especially like if you've gone through some difficult experiences in life, you kind of shut down to everything. So in that, I mean, in meditation, all the teachers say that there's only one companion that you have throughout your life. It is your breath, and you've also spoken so much about breathing. So I think it's a good idea to just start paying attention to the breath and slowing it down wherever possible. Even if it doesn't have to be some deep breaths, as you would associate with like all kinds of, like deep practices. Even if it's shallow breath, it's okay. Just pay attention to it.
So that is the starting point. Pay attention.
Yeah.
Second would be what? I mean, if you were to give 3 tips to the audience.
Yeah.
Pay attention. Second.
I would say after that, it's also important to be gentle on your body. One doesn't. Running is
Before that, breathing. Let's take breathing through first.
Okay. We start with like we said, just observe the breath, and then next is observe how the breath connects to your body. That's the next step. So sometimes you'll notice that you're breathing really fast at a time when you're doing not that much. If you're running, then it's great, and you're breathing like hard. That's okay, expected. But if you're sitting and you're breathing hard, that's also a very important sign. And if you're able to stay with yourself during those moments where the breathing is out of control and just bring it to a normal level, that's another way to develop that. And well, the third and final thing would be, I think, make some time for yourself in the day, even if it is just some brief waiting time. And people take, a cab ride or a metro ride or, any other kind of transport you take. That is essentially dead time. You don't have to be on your laptop or your phone and working or doing something else. You don't have to scroll Instagram or whatever else. Maybe make like 5 minutes of time to just like close your eyes. If closing is not possible, keep it open, just like look at the floor and breathe slowly and deeply, and just have that like connection with your body, and you'll automatically start to notice like how you're feeling in terms of like, is there any tightness, soreness, how your stress levels, what's going on. And that alone will sometimes save you from making some rash decisions or a bad move.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
And then you listen to your body, listen to your body, or listen to be gentle on it.
Yeah. So I think in my practice, I've discovered that being kind to myself is the hardest thing. Because I have very different standards for you or anyone else, and I have very different standards for myself. So one of those things is, if something is hurting, something is aching, it's good to like acknowledge it and stop. You don't have to run through pain all the time. Not all of us are like elite athletes or professional, let's say Olympians or something, that we need to perform, or else, a lot is on the line. For most people who are doing this as a hobby, the important thing is to understand, if the body is paining somewhere, it says something, and then you adjust things accordingly. I would really say that for me, being gentle towards myself started with being gentle to my body. One of the things you had mentioned a long time ago was you land lightly when you're running long distances. You try to ensure that you're not doing, tap, 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 and you're trying to be gentle. So that's where it started. And again, I was doing that to prevent injury. But later on, it developed into this thing where, I feel like, am I really enjoying this if I'm just like going through the motions for some random number, or am I enjoying this because I see running as a way to reward my body? I see meditation as a way to reward my mind. So in these tiny acts of like, let's say if I run for half an hour, meditate for 15 minutes, in these small acts, I'm being gentle towards my body and my mind. And that's an attitude, I think it really helps.
Running is called often meditation in motion.
Yeah.
And, some of us can actually, as you said, you were able to pick it up, but yet you're not put into practice to begin with.
Yeah.
And here you are, now you can. What do you think about that? Does it automatically just work for people, or do they have to go through the motions to get there?
Yeah, I think a lot of this is down to just, if you think about discovery, how it works, no one really discovers things without making a few mistakes. Right? So sometimes the mistake is just, you do too little. Sometimes the mistake is you do too much. But the important thing is, as long as you're doing those things while being aware of what's going on with your body, with your mind, that's okay. But if you're doing it completely unaware what's going on, just like I used to, chase some random goal, put myself through extreme difficulties to get there, maybe not so, yeah.
So maybe if you want to ask about the mentally focused run thing, you were saying position.
Yeah, so I think, before I go to that, there's just one other thing I would like to highlight in case somebody is, listening and thinking about taking up meditation and what happens. So before taking up meditation, I used to really chase numbers, chase a goal. I never was that much into social media validation, but I know that that's a problem for some people as well. After I took up meditation, for the first time, I had like multiple races. Maybe I only run the Delhi half marathon too. I should not say half marathon. I only run the Delhi 10K once a year nowadays. But when I run that race, I am smiling throughout. I am trying to help other people who are on the way struggling. I have like a better second half of the race than a first half, because I'm no longer trying to just use all my energy to get all the speed in the beginning. I also really enjoy the act of being around a pacer during the race, because some people hang out there, and I can see some people are struggling, and at that time motivating them to like do better during that, and just encouraging them along the way. That has so much more meaning to me now than achieving a certain time goal.
Do you find that healing to yourself as well when you do that?
Actually, I do, because as they say, right, any sport, you can see who a person truly is during that sport. So whether it's basketball, cricket, running, people really show you who they are, and observing that and helping them along in their journey, or even just being that one cheerleader in that one moment, that really, it's who I am. I really enjoy doing those kinds of things. And in a way, yes, you're right. It is a healing thing for me as well, because when I grew up in a very critical and punitive environment from my parents, from my teachers. All of them were very result oriented, and I never really received the kind of encouragement and gentle touch that I keep speaking about during my childhood. So this is my way of offering to, generally, maybe society is a huge word, but to my fellow runners, what I didn't receive in my childhood. And again, all of those things only developed because I took up running at a certain point. I've been through my own struggles with injuries. They're still continuing. But I'm like, if I can make somebody else's day like 1% better, then why not do it,
Precisely. When I'm in the clinic, I enjoy it so much. And it's funny, I wanted to quit medicine. And that's the thing sometimes. When you're not chasing it, is when the real love story starts. Kind of a thing, right?
Yeah.
I was totally done with it. I was not doing, and there's a very long story. Why. But the point is, when I kind of started again, it was pure. Not that it wasn't earlier, but this time around it was like pure joy of it, and it's so much fun. And of course, I'm trying to help them, but I think the way I'm being helped by each one that walks in the door, I think it's such a therapy for myself. Trying to kind of figure out for them, what's going on. I think, but be gentle to yourself. I think end of the day, that's very important.
Yeah,
Because
that's
sometimes
true.
it's very draining as well. Trying to help others, it's so draining at times. You'll be like, where's the shoulder that I can have?
Yeah.
You never get that shoulder.
No, I can absolutely relate to that, and I've seen this side of you where we've worked together as like a doctor and patient initially. You've been my teacher also for running, and I would also, over time, I would say in the last couple of years especially, started looking at you as a friend as well. So in all of these equations, I have seen that you going above and beyond to help out, whether it's your patient, your student, your friend. And it is correct that one does need to see how to take care of oneself in this process as well. It can get very draining, but what I've observed is that even if somebody expresses a little bit of gratitude for all the help that you've offered, you're able to receive it. And that is such a big thing, because my heart was completely shut to receiving any kind of praise previously, and that's when my helping became very draining. But the moment it changed, I was able to receive better. Then doing these things also helps. So now when I say that during a race I help somebody, I'm not doing it to get any kind of praise or anything from them. It's just like this nice thing, a nice bond you share on race day. I never talk to these people again. I'll probably never see them again. But in that one moment, the connection we had, honestly, that is what I live for, and I've seen that in you as well.
Pass it on, right? It's not expecting. It's just pass it on.
Exactly. Yeah. So the only question I have for you is, generally in this day and age, loneliness is a huge topic of discussion, because a lot of us are feeling it. We are more connected than ever, but we're actually more disconnected than ever as well, right? So in running, often you're suffering alone when you're training, when you're going to the gym, working on yourself. And the infrastructure around us, especially in India, is built to discourage people from running. If you have a car or a bike, great, amazing, the entire world is for you. But for a runner, everybody has to travel maybe 30-45 minutes to find a spot. So you're combating two things. One is loneliness, and the second is you're trying to get to your hobby in spite of the system. So how does one stay motivated? How does one combat that isolation one feels in these situations?
I think you kind of answered that. So the thing is, become your best friend.
Yeah.
And that's my biggest learning. If I summarize my whole life, is basically saying that sentence: be you. So kind of figure out who you are. Easier said than done.
Yeah, I know.
Krishnamurti has an opinion, and other people have whatever opinion. Who are you? Right? And figure that part out. Your meaning. It's okay. There's no right or wrong. And then the next one is be your best. Effectively meaning not numbers. can you just put in that effort?
Mm.
Can you be happier, lighter, that kind of a thing, and to yourself. Right? So be your best. And the rule of 1%. And my third one always is be your best friend. And saying, you know what, you're not tough or anything. Because we've been training the society to be the otherwise.
Yeah.
Especially the better people, the gentler people. They suffer a lot.
Yeah.
And so you deserve that gentleness to yourself first. So I think it begins with that. Saying, can you do that? And can you not, as much as I love discipline and, you know, show up and whatever else, if you feel tired, it's okay to take a day off. You know? If you don't feel like, it's okay once in a while not to do it. Be gentler, exactly what you said. So I think those are important. And about this whole pollution and all that, what do I say? You're lucky that you can do what you do. The whole traveling and all that. Delhi is such a, we don't need a Hitler. Gas chambers given to us for free.
It's very sad.
It's very, very, very sad. Especially because these were the months that were supposed to be the best in Delhi.
Yeah.
And now it's the worst. Right? So it's kind of, I don't know what to do. I was very vocal 10 years ago and all that, like, you know, whether it's on HT and NDTV and other places, I used to be very vocal saying, please don't run outside. And runners hated me, the race organizers hated me. Like, what's in it for him? What was in it for me was their health.
Yeah.
People don't see that. I think what we see in other people is what we are. I mean, sadly, but that's how people see each other. They weren't seeing that I was wishing them well. And, you know, a lot of stuff happened, you know, like, hate meals and all that stuff.
Yeah, of course.
Now how I see it is, for your sanity, go out, maybe wear a mask or not. Don't go every day, maybe, and see how the numbers are. You know, AQI numbers. Maybe if you can travel out, maybe do that. So as far as pollution goes, your personal thing, I mean, if you can move out to Goa for those few months, maybe do that. I don't know. Right? And Goa's catching up to them.
Of course.
About travel, same as for me, 15-20 minutes. I think what you do is use that strength of yours, which we assume as weakness, helping others. That's strength. Tie up with whoever else. Commit to someone else. Hey, listen, let's catch up together. So there's a reason to wake up, get in the car, get to that location. Currently, for the last few months, it's been my eldest son's back, and, you know, we've been running together. There are days I don't feel like, and he's already ready. Then I need to do that, in spite of whatever. I think that positive peer pressure is a very, very good thing. Create your little own group. You know, there must be 5 other friends of yours. I mean, I did say that in the group and all that. Pick up those 5 friends who don't move. It could be relatives, cousins who listen to you, look up to you. You just showing up will make them move, and that makes you excited. So do it there. I think you need to kind of figure how does that actually happen. Loneliness, I already said.
Yeah, so before I let you conclude this episode, I think the loneliness part really evoked something in me, because for a really long time I've faced that issue myself. And, you know, running, this is the one activity that I've always done alone. I've never actually trained with a group for any length of time. At best, I would have done 1 or 2 group runs here or there. I highly recommend people, you know, that people should take up meditation or something else that works for them. Because what I've noticed is post meditation, I am actually a little more okay being bored. You know, I'm a little more okay being with my own company. You know, I'm a little more okay if I don't have any good music while I'm running. There have been times when I forgot my headphones, or something is wrong with my phone, or the watch didn't download my song or something. And I was like bored out of my mind, and I was like, what am I doing here? But that used to be before meditation. After that, when I worked on just calming myself down, being more okay with who I am, that also shifted that aspect as well, where now I don't need external factors so much to align. Now it's more about, you know, hey, if I'm going for a run, this is 30 minutes that I have uninterrupted for myself, no screens, no scrolling, and, you know, no external validation required here. So in a way, the loneliness thing that I used to face previously has also declined significantly, and it plays out in other aspects of life as well.
Always does, and I think that's the most important part, right? I mean, as much as you're talking meditation, saying mind, and we're saying running, physical, strengthening physical, actually the whole thing is life. I think that's my meaning, right? So that's where it comes in. And loneliness, you said something very beautiful right now. Can we become comfortable in our own company?
Yeah.
Because if we're not, there's a problem there. That company is not good enough.
Yeah.
And we need to really work on it then. And the one thing that I really used to say about Ladakh running, and even crew members, in a very uncomfortable position like Ladakh, when you're doing things, and when you have to do it for 3 days and 4 days of no rest and all that, and you're tired and you're fatigued, your layers are peeling off and your raw self is coming out. And if you're not okay with your raw self, there's a problem.
Yeah.
And you need to then work on it. And we need to be so humble to say, listen, I am not okay by the way. And that's on the path to that whole figuring out the loneliness and working on it. And yes, you become your best friend, then you become a better husband, father, son.
Yeah.
Again, easier said than done, but yeah, that's the journey you're on then.
Yeah, that's true.
Hey, Pranay, it was brilliant having you here. Thank you so much.
Thank you. It was lovely speaking with you once again.
Thank you.